changed. And I just want to give a quick returning report of what I learned today, like what the biggest takeaway I had from this event, which, Tony Robbins is known as the godfather of self improvement, of self education, of self growth. He's done it all, and he has really trailblazed what it is that people like me want to give back to the world. But that doesn't mean that I am completely drinking the Kool-Aid. He does a lot of stuff that is really great for people who are simply in their own way. So if you are ADHD and you are struggling with some of the executive dysfunction, I feel like it's not as easy to apply his techniques as it would be if you are a neurotypical. So I think that there's definitely some room for bridging the gap there, but I still learned a lot today, and there's definitely some really good points to talk about. So the number one thing that I took away from this event was that most people are treating breakthroughs completely wrong. So whenever you are looking for a breakthrough, whether it be in a relationship or in your education or your financial situation, most people are waiting for something to happen to them. They are waiting for the world to give them a gift, for a miracle to happen, for everything to change for them. Unfortunately, the chances of that happening are pretty low. And so I'm not going to say don't pray for that. Absolutely. Pray for that. And pray for it in one side, but prepare to do something about it in the other. So that is the biggest thing that I came away with, is that most people are waiting for breakthroughs to happen instead of creating them for themselves, realizing that you can make the breakthrough happen for you if you are willing to do the work and take the right steps. So secondly, what goes along with that is most people are doing the steps in the wrong order. Most people are they are deciding that, yes, I'm ready for a breakthrough. And then they go and the first thing they do is look at what do I need to do to make this breakthrough happen? So they're searching for a strategy. And this is something I've seen in my own personal life and with other clients and stuff, is that whenever you start searching for a strategy first, you get overwhelmed by the number of options, by the ways there are to get to where you're going, that you become blind to the options, and you just shut down and you stop trying. Because if you don't have a compelling vision pulling you forward, then there's nothing that's going to keep you going when things get tough. So finding the strategy is not the first thing that you need to do. The second thing that people try to do is okay, I found a strategy, but they're stuck on their story. They've got a limiting story that is going to stop them from being able to see that the strategy that they found can work for them, because they're limiting themselves before they've ever even started. And this is something I've definitely seen in my coaching practice, and even in my own personal life before I started to get into the coaching game and see that mindset is everything. So having a limiting story and a strategy that works, but you don't believe it can work for you, is just as good as having nothing at all. So that story it has to happen before the strategy, but most people go strategy, then story, and then they try to get themselves ready. They try to get themselves in the right frame of mind, or as Tony called it, the mental, or the right state. State is what most people try to do last, is they try to hype themselves up, and most people have a lot of trouble getting there, period. Tony is suggesting that the state, it has to be first. You have to mentally, emotionally, physically prepare yourself for the win that you want. So in order to do that, the first thing you have to do is decide what you actually want. And I've been saying this for months, is that if you don't have a decision in mind, if you haven't already set a goal, if you don't have a compelling future and vision, then you're going to get lost along the process, no matter how determined you are, because you're just going to be spinning your wheels with no direction. So I definitely agree that the compelling vision is extremely important, but this is kind of new information for me. This mental state, this emotional energy, being able to set that first is something that I've kind of played around with, but I hadn't looked at it in such a specific way. I definitely have tried to, envision the things like my success in business, my success in my relationship. I've tried to envision them as I want to see them, but I have not tried acting as if I'm that person already. I haven't really leaned into that. And, I don't have a lot to lose. If you've been following me for any time whatsoever, you know that we've sold our house. We are in a completely new land. I do not have a job outside of this coaching thing. So it really needs to work for me. So I don't have anything to lose by just going ahead and accepting that it's going to happen. I am already there. So I really need to lean into that positive energy of nothing but good things happening for my business, because that breeds more good things happening for your business. And you can attribute it to the law of the universe, the rules of attraction, many different things, but good energy attracts good energy. Good things attract good things. You don't see a lot of, you always I always was raised about the idea that bad things happen in threes. So whenever something bad happened, I was always looking for the next bad thing to happen. And those things were happening whether I was noticing them or not. But whenever I was focused on seeing bad things, I saw more bad things. So of course I always saw three because I was looking for the next thing. Being in the right mental state puts you in a place of looking for positive, and your energy goes where your focus is. So if you are focused on positive things happening, more positive things are going to happen. You're going to notice more positive things. You're going to see more positive opportunities. And if you're able to work through your stories and stop shutting yourself down before it ever happens, you're going to have a much higher chance of finding a strategy that works for you. So you kind of have to work it in reverse. And I think that Tony's definitely right there. And I'm going to be working on applying this myself in a more direct and aggressive fashion, because there are things I want from my life that I'm not seeing yet that I need to happen. And so I'm going to really aggressively try to mentally change my mindset and get that energy going and flowing through my life. And I will make sure to keep you updated on what happens. So that is the biggest event I took, or the biggest takeaway for me for the Game Has Changed event with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. I've got 2 more days of it. I'm hoping that there's going to be a little bit more of the thing I've been missing, which is finding the audience who needs the experience that you have, because I've lived a ton of experience. I've learned a ton about being ADHD and managing your time and efficiency and productivity and your relationships. And I want to give that to people so they can have the success that I've had in life. My business has not blown up yet, but my success in life, my relationships, I've come back from the depths of darkness because of what I've learned. And I want to share that with people. And I also want to help them grow their business in a way that I've learned can help them keep those relationships intact. That's it for today. I will report back tomorrow after day 2 of the Game Has Changed.